I say, how do you round off a Thursday afternoon better? An obligatory reading of Bakuback Mountain, Volume 10, now in stores. Been in stores. I'm behind on my Bakuman reading. Anyway, hey guys, what is going on? And I seem to recall that going over a lot better in practice, in my head. But they're gay, though, because they're strippers. And something to do about the cleaning lady being off on the weekend. Because she dusts. She's the cleaning lady. But she has work Friday. I've watched too much Scott Pilgrim. Anyways, how have you guys been? From midterms to the Hurricane Sandy that just passed, it's been a while since you've seen my mug on camera. How have you been? Let me know down in the comment section what you've been playing, what you've been reading, what you've been watching. Let me know all them juicy details. Also, speaking on Hurricane Sandy, for those who had the unfortunate pleasure to be in her path, I just want to extend my, prayers to you, my thoughts. If you are one of the many who are without power, I wish you a speedy recovery. Knowing how Con Ed works in my area, it's not going to be speedy at all, but hey, just keep the faith, I guess. If you're walking through and you see a couple of trees or power lines that are dangling wires, make sure to avoid them because you don't know what'll happen. Maybe they could topple over. And that wouldn't be good at all if you got hurt because you couldn't come home and watch a video from me and make me money. But I sound like a douchebag now, so avoid trees because it's important to your life. And also, for all the people out there who are cracking jokes about New Jersey, see, this is what happens. This is what happens when people go around there saying some dumb crap like, oh man, I hate New Jersey. New Jersey is so relevant. That state should just disappear. You know what happens? Motherfucker Sandy Cheeks comes in from Bikini Bottom and is like, which one of you is Dirty Dan? And none y'all states stick up and say, I'm Dirty Dan. No, you all point to New Jersey and you see what happens? Sandy did her business. So be ashamed. You are all responsible for this. You see, in this time, we all have to be connected. And, you know, I was trying to go for this. Sure, we're connected, but it was like this, so we're all biting each other. We're going to fisticuffs. Anyway, get on with the video, Neo. Stop trying to be funny. You are clearly not looking. You wasted 2.5 minutes of people's time. See, now they're gonna yell at you and leave nasty comments. Anyway, I wanted to do a video on this topic a while back, but considering that, you know, with all the things happening with the hurricane and relatives coming in and out of the house, yes, relatives were here during a hurricane, believe it or not. I really didn't have much time to, and I also wanted to survey the situation to see exactly where this was going. So, as you guys are aware, the Walt Disney Corporation has recently acquired all things Lucas, Lucasfilm, LucasArts, as well as ILM, Industrial Light and Magic, the badass guys who do all the great special effects work. And included with that, of course, is Star Wars and Indiana Jones for a whopping $4.5 billion. Now, I'm going to go off into a little tangent here. I would have expected this whole deal to be a lot more than $4 billion. You remember a couple years back when Disney acquired Marvel for around the same price. Really? You're acquiring so much more, yet it's the same price. I don't know. I would have expected them to be at least somewhere in the range of like 8, 9, maybe $10 billion franchise. I'm not sure, considering the fact that Pixar alone back in the 90s was like, what, 7 billion, around that? That's just crazy, man. Well, I guess they had a lot going for them in different reasons back then. So, yeah, there's been a lot of talk on the internet, of course, mixed things, positive, negative, people flaming at their keyboards saying, oh my god, Disney's gonna ruin Star Wars, they're gonna put all their freaking shitty actors in Star Wars movies and put them in TV series, and we're gonna get so much saturation of Star Wars in the market that we can't live, we can't go anywhere without seeing Star Wars, it's the end of the world, 2012, Hurricane Sandy, and now this, and Rich Longer died, oh god, it's the end of the world. Yeah, I think we all need to take a chill pill. And mind you, of course, I'm not trying to make excuses for myself because a couple years back, you guys remember the rant I did when Marvel was acquired by Disney. Yeah, I was essentially what I just imitated. That was me 3 years ago. I was bitching. I was freaking out. I was going hysterical. If you don't believe me, go check my videos. I ain't lying. I ain't trying to hide anything. I own up to my stuff. Now, you know, you guys know me. Whenever this sort of situation arises, I usually try to weigh in both the positive and the negative stuff. So, let's first start out with the fact that not Marvel. Why do I keep saying Marvel? See, I talk so much about acquiring Marvel, they just go two and two together. The fact that Star Wars is now going to be handled by Disney. I see a lot of people saying that it's going to become so oversaturated in the market. We're going to see nothing but cartoons and merchandising and all of these video games and just everything Star Wars. When we walk into a store, we'll see nothing but Star Wars cereal. We'll see nothing but Star Wars pajamas everywhere until they just run it into the dirt. Haven't we been seeing that for like the past 30 years? I don't know about you guys, but yeah, Star Wars is a pretty saturated brand. It's a worldwide icon. LucasArts has been doing this for how long? I mean, come on now. It's just the same thing as Disney. What does Disney do? They oversaturate the market with their products till people are sick of them. What does Lucas do? They oversaturate the market with Star Wars. It's no difference here. It's like comparing the lesser of two evils. Which would you want? So on that front, when it comes to merchandising, toys, etc., I don't think we really have anything to worry about. I think we're going to still see a steady line of those, only with a bit more advertising, maybe with a bit more commercials, because with the financial backing of Disney, we're going to be able to see more of Star Wars, because they announced that Star Wars Episode 7 is in development for release in 2015. Wow. Thinking about this right now, 2015. What do we have coming out in 2015? The sequel to this film year's highest grossing film, The Avengers, and the supposed Justice League movie from Warner Brothers. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty dang big year for blockbusters. I just personally think that trying to get a Star Wars film out within 3 years is a bit too optimistic. They still have to cast it, they have to write it, they have to do so much for this. And considering the fact that it's a sequel to the original trilogy, I mean, I would think that I'd want to take at least 5 years of planning to get this shit off the ground right. But, we'll talk more about that as we get closer to the release of the film. Who's to say what'll happen? But for some of the positive things that I see coming out of this situation, first off, guys, if you're worried about them dumbing down Star Wars for kids and, making it a lot more kid-friendly, stuff like that, honestly, I'm going to say this, I don't think that's going to happen at all. Why? Because Disney owns a lot of brands. For example, they own Marvel, they own Pixar, they own Touchstones. They used to own Miramax up until 2 years ago. And through Miramax and Touchstone, they released a lot of films. They collaborated with a lot of directors and studios that they wouldn't normally release under their own brand. You get what I'm saying? I believe Sin City, for example, if you bought this through, this is available through the Disney Blu-ray Movie Awards Club, the website where it has like Winnie the Pooh and all that stuff. It's movies for older people. Yeah, because they owned Miramax at the time when I bought that, so they still released it. So for people worrying about it getting dumbed down, I don't think it's going to happen. Are we going to see a lot more emphasis on like a kiddie version of Star Wars? Yeah, they probably will put on a more kiddie-friendly cartoon on Disney Channel or wherever the hell it's going to be on. But I think there are a lot of possibilities with this acquisition. First thing foremost, if they focus a lot on the cartoon side as well as the direct-to-video market, I think it'll work out great because they can adapt a lot of the Star Wars lore. They could adapt whole storylines, stuff from the expanded universe. If they want to go their own separate route for story, they can just take bits and pieces and elements like what the DC animated universe does with their movies. Take the best of everything, put it into one. I think that'll work great if they do that a Star Wars route. Maybe they get the guys who did the CG for Star Wars, The Old Republic, that shitty MMO. Maybe they get them to work on an actual CG movie, release it direct to video. And I think it'll all be gravy for Star Wars fans. There are a lot of possibilities with this merger. That's the thing you guys got to take away from this. Within all the positives, negatives, fanboy bitching, we could see a lot of cool things happen now that Disney has acquired them. Now, it's not to say, though, that they will do said things, but I'm just saying we can be a bit more optimistic. As far as the comics are concerned, honestly, I think they should keep their deal they got with Dark Horse Comics, because if they try to go back to the Marvel route of Star Wars things, we're not going anywhere great at all. So now let's move on to Episode 7. That is something that has received the most amount of criticism, mixed, positive, negative. Honestly, I gotta say, I'm kind of optimistic on this side of things. Now, one of the things that I think we can all appreciate is the fact that George Lucas will not be reigning this anymore. He has no say whatsoever on, he has no total control over Star Wars. That's the thing that I think everybody knows about George Lucas. He has great ideas, he has passion, he has a great vision, creativity. However, when translating that onto paper, into actuality, bringing it to life, something gets lost in translation. There's something about Lucas that just, like, it's one of the main reasons why the prequel sucked, because he had overall control over it. When he made the original Star Wars, Episode 4, it was a labor of love. It was great. However, when you check out Episode 5 and 6, the quality increased exponentially. Why? Because he had other people working with him in tangent. So, I think that keeping him on as a sort of creative consultant for future Star Wars related things is a better idea, so he can channel his vision through said directors, writers, etc., etc., etc. I think that is the best idea possible up until he completely retires from whatever he's doing. You know, I will forever have respect for Lucas. I haven't had much respect for him in the past, like, you know, ever since the prequel started. But I will admit that he does have good ideas. It's just that he needs the right people working with him to bring this into reality. At least a good reality, anyway. So, you know, Episode 7, as far as storylines are concerned, if they don't do stuff like Thrawn or the Expanded Universe, I'm going to be sorely disappointed. Because I think that's like the best route they could go, especially if they're going to be doing a sequel to the original trilogy. You know, a series that hasn't been around since, like, what, the 80s? The original trilogy, not the entire Star Wars. You get what I'm saying? Just people take things out of context and say, oh, what are you talking about? They just had a Star Wars movie a couple years ago. I'm like, nigga, listen, please. Man, I don't know. I mean, from what I've been saying, it sounds so optimistic. Like, you know, there's a lot of possibilities in the cartoon side of things, the digital direct-to-video market, Episode 7, if they get the right people involved. It's all about, you know, the potential for things. It's like the same thing with Marvel, you know. I think definitely with the backing of Disney, they've sort of grown and expanded their universe by making more quality films. So I think that, like, we can do the same with Star Wars. Just do it like you did the original movies. Make it a labor of love. There are tons of people out there who would love to get behind another Star Wars movie, and another Star Wars movie. I can't speak today. Damn it. This is what happens after you know, after stuff. You know, just do it as in a labor of love. People who have passion, people who love to do this, not just people who want a paycheck. And I think what better way to convince all the naysayers out there than with, you know, bring out your best stuff, bring out all your guns, and then wow people 3 years from now. I mean, there's a lot of potential to this. I'm not saying it's going to be amazing, but I'm not saying you should completely write this off. We're just going to see what happens with Disney. In most cases, I think they're going to let LucasFilms continue doing what they're doing, just have overall management control. Like, that's good. That's good. Just keep raking in the money for us, and we have no problem. Go on your merry way. I think that's what it's going to be for the most part with this. So what do you guys think of Disney acquiring the Lucas brand altogether? Do you like the idea? Do you hate it? What do you guys want to see out of this? Do you guys want to see the expanded universe get a lot more shine in a new movie or adapted in a, you know, future cartoon? I just think there's a lot of lore and a lot of rich writing there that is just untapped. I just think it can work instead of just doing another series focused on the Skywalker family. No disrespect. I'm just saying. We need something new. You know, not even direct storylines. Take elements. Come on now. It kind of sucks that Crazy Black Man 108 didn't get out his video. It's surprising. The guy, his name was originally Jedi Master 1077. He didn't put out a video on Star Wars, yet I did first. And this is 14 minutes long of me talking about Star Wars. What the hell happened, Adam? I thought you were the hero. It looks like that I'm the hero that the Star Wars fans need and deserve. Well, that's debatable. You want to know why? Because I am a silent guardian. I'm a very loud guardian. I am Nightwing. So, Adam, get off your ass. Stop hashtagging on Facebook about Derek Rose. That's another rant entirely. All these bitches hashtagging on Facebook every other freaking word. Do your video on Star Wars. Video response to that shit. I'm going to see it, bro. Look at you. Sidetracking my video. We are already 15 minutes in. What's up, bro? What's up? Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm just signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace! Lightsaber Keyblade.